Welcome to the Naked Mama podcast, where to be truly naked is to be eternally committed to stripping away the layers, illuminating the truth within, and emerging as the woman, the mother that you are destined to become. To be truly naked is to be truly you. I am your host, Angel Rockwell, intuitive motherhood coach, transformational mentor, and bold believer in turning the impossible into reality. I am a mama, a wife, a revolutionary entrepreneur, and a visionary for creating a legacy of abundance and fulfillment inside of motherhood. My mission here with the Naked Mama podcast is to debunk the myths of motherhood that disconnect you from your power as a mother and as a woman, and to reconnect you back to the sanctity and magic of the mother-child bond that ultimately is the key to uncovering the ease, freedom, and confidence that you desire, and truth be told, are meant to experience. I'm going to be sharing pieces of my transformational journey along with purely sourced intuitive guidance so that you can begin to see what's possible for you. Know that you are not alone and begin to take action, building momentum towards living the life that you know deep down you are meant to live. The Naked Mama podcast is here to break down the myths of motherhood that are holding you back. Each episode is designed to be a powerful conversation to raise the consciousness of women through motherhood. Each episode holds the power for you to shift into alignment, gain deeper clarity, and expand your awareness. My commitment to you is to show up authentically and be naked with you. The journey here inside the Naked Mama podcast is the journey of evolution and expansion into deeper levels of fulfillment, freedom, and ease. Here inside these episodes, we connect and ground, nourish ourselves, grow, and rise together. I am so excited to welcome you into the world of the Naked Mama. Now, if you're wanting extra love and more support in between episodes, please follow me on Instagram at @TheRealAngelRockwell. Now, let's dive right into today's episode. Welcome, magnificent mama. How are you today? It feels so good to be here with you. Really, truly. I am so proud of you for choosing to take this time for you to be here for you and to be here together. Today's conversation continues to dive into time. This is a two-part conversation. This is part 2. Last week, we played around inside the myth of not enough time. Now, today, we're going to have some fun with the myth of time flies. The underlying theme here inside this myth is lack of presence. Through the conversation in last week's episode around passive choice, we opened up to the truth that we have complete control of time through our conscious choices and ownership of what we desire. You will exit this conversation today different. Something inside of you will shift. You choosing to be present, to receive this conversation, and to implement the simple tools of awareness that I will be sharing with you later in the episode holds the power for you to transform beyond your wildest imagination. Now, I know that sounds like a big piece, and as juicy as it is totally accessible with ease into your daily routine. So again, I celebrate you for being here inside this conversation. Now, to really root in to power of choice, today we take a look at how we perceive time. In last week's episode, I shared this visual of the hourglass. One grain of sand drops down through the hourglass, and we see how fast it moves. It happens very fast. If we were to put a handful of sand through the same hourglass, it seems to take longer, but the individual grains of sand still move at the same pace. So there's beauty inside of this process. So it's when we get stuck looking at the single grains, those being the things on our to-do list and all of the things. You know all of your things. we can miss and we don't allow ourselves to perceive the real, true beauty in the process. And that's when it slows down. So we're looking at the same thing from a different perspective. So we're going to breathe that in. And if you love visualization as much as I do, your mind may already be conjuring up this gorgeous image of an hourglass. If you're new or uh, totally not in the zone of visualization, I invite you to open up to picturing in your mind. If it helps, you can picture a screen in your mind and see an hourglass and see the difference between the dropping of one single grain of sand and then observing what it looks like and how that feels to watch a handful of sand sifting through the hourglass. And then again, to crack it wide open and have an endless stream of sand flowing through, not clogging, perfectly, divinely timed, so we constantly have the beautiful flow. Exhale all of your air out. Mama, it is time to breathe. Hand on the heart. Give the space around your heart a gentle rub if it feels good. Allow your hand to press into your chest. Feel your presence. Feel your breath. Deep breath in, sip through the nose. Expanding at the top, part the lips. Exhale. Here you are. You feel yourself here. Inside this theme, lack of control. Now we did get into this with the power with the lack of or passive choice, pardon me, last week. So looking at the passive choice, the things that are unconscious, this is all going to tie in as well. When we look at what we can't control or what we feel like we can't control, we get stuck feeling out of control. Out of control of what was never ours to force control over in the first place. Now, stuck is a word that I'm going to get into a full episode about the illusion of stuck. Stuck is not a reality, it's something for another conversation, but being stuck, that feeling of immovability, that there's always possibility in there, but stay tuned for that. When we feel like we're out of control of what was never ours to force control over in the first place. Let's look at an example. Say you're driving a car down the road. You have your eyes on another driver in the opposing lane of traffic, driving a totally different car, looking completely different than you, and driving way too fast. And you find yourself wondering why your brake pedal isn't slowing down the other car. You get frustrated, you continue to get more frustrated. Increasingly, this starts to become active in you. The spirals down, down, down. Effort ensues to try to fix. There's a feeling behind this. Now, before I draw this out entirely, I'm going to share a piece of me. Basically, the entirety of my 20s was in this space of so desperately wanting to drive my car, and I was in it. I was driving, my hands were on the wheel and my feet were on the pedals, but it was never getting me where I wanted to be. I never felt like I was in control of my own car, and everything kept building. No matter what I did, no matter what I said, no matter what I tried, everything just kept getting me the result of anger and frustration and wondering why what I was doing wasn't working. So for the decade of my 20s, I was focused outwardly. Ironically, for me, anyways, I was regularly being told, it isn't always all about you, Angel. And I felt that it was never about me. I felt like nothing was about me. And why? Why is that? How is it possible that the way I felt was completely different than what was being seen? Well, because I was looking at everyone else comparing myself to them. I wasn't able to see the truth of me or who I was being or what I was doing because my eyes were not on me. I was comparing myself to everyone else, and it was all unconscious. So the desperation I felt to be seen, to be in control, with my eyes on the other car, on the other driver, wondering why my pedals of gas and brake weren't having any effect on the outside. I wasn't looking at me. I was looking at them, hoping to find my results so desperately through someone else. So back to the car. You have your eyes on the driver. Again, go ahead and picture this in the screen of your mind. You're driving your car. It can be the car you currently have or a car you don't currently have or would like to have. Whatever. Allow it to just appear. There's no force here in creating this visual. Just you're here. Imagine you're in your car. Your hands are on the wheel. Your feet are in place. Your seatbelt's on. Your eyes are on the driver in the car in the opposing lane, driving the totally different car, looking nothing like you, driving way too fast. And you wonder why your brake pedal isn't slowing down the other car. And then all of a sudden, something happens divinely from the universe, and you realize, oh, hey, that's not my fucking car. Now, I laugh at myself in this because I lived this when I realized that I was frustrated because I wasn't seeing the results in somebody else's car and I was in fact in my own. When we're fixated on that, which is not ours to control, it feels like it's flying by with increasingly growing speed. So like fixated on the car and it's flying by and we can't do anything about it. There's no control. The answer, honestly, is this simple. Look at your own lane. Focus your attention on what you can control, what is yours to control. Focus your awareness on self. Attune your attention to that which you desire. Time is human made, yet we say we can't control it. It's out of our grasp, it's out of our reach. Have we created a beast that we simply cannot control? No, we are living a narrative that is not serving us, is not true. Inside motherhood, we hear this so much. Enjoy it now. It goes so fast. How time flies is amplified inside motherhood before you even put your gracious hands on your baby. From the time they come out, and you've heard these things, 1 minute they're fresh out of the womb and the next minute they're going to college. Oh, they're out of diapers and they're getting married. There's just so many ways that it's commonplace in conversation. It's habitual, it's default pattern for people to just say these things. Oh, congratulations. Oh, enjoy it. It goes so fast. And a big component of breaking down all of these myths here inside this podcast is just being willing to recognize when we're regurgitating information. Saying, oh, well, because it's been done for so long, it must be true. Because it's been done so long, it must be fact. Say, how does this feel? Is this what I want? Am I here to regurgitate information and live the same patterns? No, I have conversation after conversation. Every woman who's in my world, personally, professionally, as clients, everybody. Every woman, every mother desires change, desires more for herself, desires more for her children. That requires us to have the curiosity to look differently. I've never heard anybody say, time flies. Woohoo! I've never heard that. It comes from a place of, oh my goodness, there's not enough of this. And we looked at the not enough last week. So time flies is illustrated in so much of what our society does and speaks and is. But it does not have to be that way. And we are here inside this conversation right now, creating that change. The change has already begun. We are here to do our part. So me doing so many things in my 20s that took up so much time, I always found myself with not enough time. I was trying so hard to figure it out. I was trying so hard to create. I was trying so hard to work so hard. So at some point, all of this hard work was going to pay off and I'd have some more time. As I said earlier, I was just unconscious. So I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even realize how much of an impact not taking the time, not believing there was any time really had. And of course, spending a really solid decade, of course, this extends past, I didn't just hit 20 and then shifted this way, but really in my 20s, I, I was working, I was doing everything I possibly could to effort, to put in the work, to control, to effort my way as hard as I could, because somehow in my mind at the time, it made sense that if I did all of that, it would magically get me to a place where it was like, oh, here it is. Here's the place I've been trying to get to. All of this hard work paid off. And now I have this huge open space of beauty and everything I've ever desired is here. It's madness. It doesn't work that way. But in my 20s, I believed it. And so many of us did in our 20s, and many still do. So, what if we were telling a different story? What if the narrative being spoken as normalcy, as commonplace, that came out of our mouths so easily was something that served? What if the story breathed life as the story of never-ending flow of sand through the hourglass? Trust that there would always be more. There was always enough, not too much, not too little, always enough to feel the beauty and presence in this moment. That's a very different narrative. And that might sound something like, oh my goodness, congratulations. You are in for such an amazing journey of enjoyment in the process of mothering your beautiful new child. What if that is what we were hearing? We can. With our connection to truth and source energy so tuned in, we can live and breathe and enjoy the process so much that we tap into the abundance of time. Now, being tuned in, living, breathing, enjoying, this is presence. There is no lack there. The underlying theme of time flies is lack of control. We don't control things. We're not present. We're fight or flighting and we're freaking out. We bring the presence in. We bring the control in. We find the life, the breath, the enjoyment, the fulfillment. We find timelessness. Now, I chose to slow down in motherhood right from the start. I never felt good hearing time flies. And not because it sparked a fear in me. I wasn't thinking, "Oh my God, time's gonna fly. I'm freaking out." It felt off. So I didn't like to speak it. I did my best to notice and recognize when it rolled out of my mouth because I have my conditioning like we all do. I had lived so much of it. And that in the physical world is what helped illuminate to me my inner being that was not aligned with this myth, this idea. I lived so much in the world of time flies. I had witnessed it happening in every aspect of my life. There was never enough time at work, and I was working so much there wasn't enough time for my friends. And when I did have time for my friends, I was squeezing in everything from work and everything else. It's a tightening grasp. I know you know. Something in me knew to take that leap into my own lane, to keep my eyes on me and trust that that was what it was going to take to slow things down. Now, we use this phrase all the time: slow down, take time for you. And we know that this has plenty of benefits across the board. Slowing down. It's been a big theme this year for a lot of people. Now, my experience inside slowness and ease of motherhood is almost difficult to put into words for me. This timelessness, this getting to the end of a day and feeling so fulfilled, and telling my husband about the day and what we had done, and finding myself wondering, did that happen yesterday? Was that a couple of days ago? No, that was just this morning. Feeling like the moments that we shared, it's not just, oh, did anything good happen today? There's so many moments, delight after presence, after tears of joy, after expansive goodness, just heart exploding love and joy for life in one day. It's here. I feel it. Some nights I don't even want to put my head down on my pillow because I just want to sit in the glory of the vibe and the energy in my home that I know I have created. And of course, this didn't happen overnight. I was able to choose before I even had my sweet hands on my darling daughter. I knew I wanted to slow down. I didn't need to slow down. The universe had given me that opportunity before, and the universe has given you that opportunity before, and it will continue to again and again and again until we can step into, I choose to slow down because what I want in here feels good. We've spoken already before in episodes past about need versus desire. Now, my experience inside the slowness, we can slow down time, even eliminate time entirely. If you've experienced a moment like that, I know you have, before you had children and in motherhood with your children. I know those moments that everything disappears. So, with that feeling in mind, I invite you to close your eyes, to place a hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Feel the way this feels in your body. Notice, observe, honor. And again, everything doesn't have to feel deliciously good and euphoric. You are feeling, and that in and of itself is magnificent. You can feel. Feeling is the gateway to everything. Breathe all of your air out. Empty the belly. Breathe in deeply together. Sip through the nose. Expanding, part the lips. Breathing this freedom, this timelessness, this abundance of time into your creation of reality. We know we can slow down when you need to, when you've burned the candle at both ends and you have no choice but to stop. When we continue to stop and start and stop and start, we don't get anywhere. It's just about slowing down. So we know we can slow down. And we know we created time. How we quantify time, how we speak about time, how we identify with time. Our minds know this. Are you willing to go deeper to feel this? To connect the dots of your own abilities to slow down, embrace the benefits of it, and allow your creative power to slow down the process. Now, you may be thinking right now, like, I don't want to slow things down. I want to speed some things up and get some stuff going. I'm going to get to that before we top this off today. If you choose to look at each single grain of sand individually all the time, you will see each grain, aka each task to do, each moment of your life, because how we do one thing is how we do everything. As a speed blur past you. Oh, That happened fast. Oh my God, I almost missed it. When you don't blink, you're going to miss it. When we continue in this space, we pick up momentum, which is why time seems to move faster and faster as you get older, as your children get older, as time passes by. When we focus on only the tasks, the doing, the physical, that's where the momentum builds, and that gets bigger, and that speeds up time. You are the creator of that. No, it is not a universal truth that that's just what happens. That is what you are creating. That is what so many are creating. Time does not fly unless we choose it to fly. Time does not go too fast unless we choose it to speed by. You are being called forward now, invited to bring your unconscious choices, as we chatted about last week, into light, to make conscious, to create change. This is power. This is the power in your choice. This is your control of that which you can. Choose how you fill your time. When you are conscious, you will choose good. You will welcome in the unlimited flow of abundance and time because you will be fueling yourself in alignment with the truth of who you are. If you want to slow down time, you can. You just need to slow down. Begin. Don't pump the brakes. Don't throw everything, slam it on, throw everything forward and smash your face against the windshield. Steering wheel? I hope you have your seatbelt on. You just need to slow down, pause, and choose. Own your choices. And when you see unconscious choices come to light, when you feel them come to light and they do not feel good to you, you will be able to let them go. This is your takeaway piece today. Check your choices. Do they feel good? If not, there is cleanup to be done, space to be created, and more of you to bring to life. And if they do feel good, mama, focus there. Do more of that. Chase those choices. Celebrate those choices. Milk it for all that it's worth. Feel good. Allow those feelings to breathe and emanate and grow and expand within you. The more you tap into and live inside this space, the more momentum you will pick up on the ease of slowing down. And there you will find not only the slowing down of time, but complete timelessness. Isn't it wonderful that you can pick up momentum by slowing down? Thank you so much for joining me inside this episode today, for your willingness to be in this conversation, share in the vibe, the wisdom, and the connection with me. This vibe is now yours to take with you. So take one more deep breath with me, mama, and breathe this in before you step forward with the rest of your day. Pause what you're doing. Be still. Close your eyes. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Feel what you feel, honor it, and love on yourself like crazy for being open to this moment right here, right now. If this episode resonated with you, made you feel something undeniable, I encourage you to share it and spread the love. And please tag me so that I can connect with you and indulge in the vibe with you. And so that together we can get this podcast into the hands of more mamas who could use a little naked mama in their life. Remember to subscribe so you can stay connected. And if you're looking for love and support between episodes, follow me on Instagram at @TheRealAngelRockwell. If you're feeling pulled for more, join the Naked Mama private Facebook community where deep levels of magic await. Lastly, always feel free to connect with me directly. I adore voice messages, just FYI. If you choose to pop into my inbox, I guarantee I'll be all up in your inbox in the best way. I will see you here again next week for another transformative episode. Until then, sending love and light to you, beautiful mama.